Today I want to talk to you about another great John 3:16. You'll see, because I want to read to you from 1 John chapter 3 verse 16, which reads this: "By this we know love, because he laid down his life for us, and we also ought to lay down our lives for the brethren." In the minds of many people, it's the most famous verse in the Bible. Sometimes at public events, there will be someone with a sign reading John 3:16. Of course, the person with the sign wants people to look up John 3:16 in the Bible, which many people love as a pure, simple expression of the gospel. John 3:16, of course, says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." It's a great passage, but it's not the only great 3:16 in the Bible. As a matter of fact, it's not even the only great John 3:16 in the Bible. Let's not forget 1 John 3:16. You see, 1 John 3:16 not only tells us about God's love for us, it also tells us how we should love one another. It says this: "And we also ought to lay down our lives for the brethren." Are you challenged by those words, "and we also"? The meaning is clear. Jesus loved in this way. We should have the same kind of love. Since we are sent with the same kind of mandate that Jesus was sent with, that's in John chapter 20, verse 21, we must demonstrate our love by laying down our lives for the brethren. Now, what does it mean to lay down our lives? John Stott, in his commentary in 1 John, made a good point. I'm quoting him now. "It seems to imply not so much the laying down as the laying aside of something like clothes. It is, in fact, used in John 13, verse 4, of Christ taking off his outer garment." That's the end of the quote. But we may be willing to lay down our lives in a dramatic, heroic gesture. But will we lay aside our lives in a daily, simpler way? In writing to lay down or lay aside our lives, John also reminds us that love and its demonstration often involves sacrifice. See, merely wishing to be more loving, that won't do, because it won't sacrifice where it's needed. If we take the analogy of Jesus' love for us, sometimes the cost of love will make us feel like we're dying. But that's what it means to lay down your life. We often think ourselves ready to lay down our lives in one great, dramatic, heroic gesture. But for most of us, God calls us to lay down our lives piece by piece, little by little, in small but important ways every day. How can you show the love of God by laying aside your life? How can you show that to someone else today?